Welcome to 12 Minutes or Less with the Author. I'm your host, T.L. Brown, but you can call me Tracy. Let's get started.
Hey there. Welcome to another episode of 12 Minutes or Less with the Author. I am thrilled because today we have author Danielle Paquette-Harvey on the show, and we are going to talk about star ratings on books, and especially star ratings on Amazon. Danielle is an award-winning Amazon international best-selling author of paranormal romance and steamy vampire romance fantasy. Her stories include werewolves and vampires, myths and dark prophecies, magic and witches, dragons and fairies, adventure and war, goddesses and demons. Her books have been translated into French and they are currently being translated into Italian. She is well known for her best-selling Longing Mates series, and you can start the Longing Mates series with book 1, Age-Old Enemies, and you can find that at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and other libraries. Danielle has also written The Goddesses' Wards, a standalone novel related to the series. Danielle lives on the south shore of Montreal, Canada, and with her husband, children, 2 cats, and an Australian shepherd. You can learn more about Danielle at daniellepauthor.com, and that link can be found in the podcast description along with her socials. Welcome, Danielle. Thank you for making time to talk to us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
I was thrilled to see on Instagram, and for our listeners, it went something like this. I was scrolling through my Instagram in the middle of May, and I saw your post on Amazon ratings and thought it was brilliant. And that's why I asked you to come on the show, because our listeners today are also readers. And I wanted you to share, tell us more about what the number of stars mean and how those star ratings, especially on Amazon, impact a book's success.
So about Amazon. So you need to keep in mind that Amazon sells products. So for them, a book is a product amongst a big variety of products. So when you leave a star rating on Amazon, they don't want to know if you were crying your life because you were missing your book boyfriend at the end of the book or something like that. They want to know, okay, it's a fantasy book or it's a romance book. Is it really a fantasy book? You know, does it have magic, dragons? That's what they want to know. So think of it as if you buy a shirt from Amazon. Is it too cheap and it's going to tear apart, or is it a good quality? That's how you should rate books on Amazon. So to give you an example, a 5-star for a fantasy romance, let's say an enemies to lovers, means it was the good trope. It was actually enemies to lovers. There was fantasy, there was romance, and the book was what's expected to be. That's all there is to Amazon. If you want to go 4-star, then it means that the book has at least one major flaw, but it was still good, you know? So think of it of a big plot hole, or maybe some things that doesn't resolve at the end of the book. And it's not a series, you know, it's not continued. You're never going to know what's happening. And then when you get to 3 stars, it's really a book that you didn't like or did not finish. It's something that is not good. It's not a good quality. And that tells Amazon that it should not recommend this book to other readers. And the 3-star rating is really the lowest that you can go on Amazon. And as long as you are below 4 stars, you're starting to hurt the author. For Amazon, not on Goodreads and all those social media books websites, but Amazon will not recommend the book if the average star rating is below 4 stars. So if you like the book at least a little bit, maybe it wasn't for you, but if someone likes fantasy, they would like it, then you should go and rate it a 4-star at least. And, just read, then go back to read the genre that you usually read if that's not your taste. But, don't, other readers that would like the genre will, then you rate it 4-star. If you go to 2 stars, then it means that it had major serious issues all the way through the book. Maybe it was so bad that you couldn't follow or read it through the book. The sentence didn't work. It looked like it was written by a 5-year-old kid. So that's 2 stars. And a 1-star rating, I mean, like, this book should not be read by anyone. This author shouldn't write anymore, So that's how bad a 1-star rating is to Amazon.
I wish Amazon had a rule that if you give 3 stars or lower, you must write at least a couple sentence review. You must at least justify why you're giving such a low review.
I agree. And it doesn't even have to be a lot of words, but when you leave a rating without any words, you're not explaining to the writer, but also to other potential readers why you thought that. And it really matters to the authors, because as authors, we want to know why you liked or didn't like a book, but as readers as well, because myself, when I go to buy a book, I will look at the reviews and I will check, generally, what do people say? And of course, you can't please everyone. So you're bound to have less good reviews, it's normal. But I will get a general idea of what this book is about, and then I'll decide if I want to choose to read it or not. And yeah, for the algorithm in Amazon, it's super important to stay above 4 stars, because if it's up 4 stars, then Amazon will start proposing this book to other readers that have read the same genre. So when you see this little section in the page that says also read, so those are the books that other people have read that was reading the same genre. So it's suggestion, it's free marketing for the book. It really helps the authors.
We as independent authors do need to rely on our reviews as part of our marketing. And Amazon, seeing many good star ratings or reviews, will market that for us.
Exactly. And the places like Goodreads, BookBub, and all those book websites are really the place to go more critical on your reviews. And sometimes even those websites, they have their own star review rating that they show and you can use. And that's the place where you can go, oh, 3 stars is still good and 2 stars is still a little bit good. Some people have a very, very detailed judging grid for books. So that's the place to go to and do that. But when you go to Amazon, you need to have a different rating system in mind, because the website doesn't work the same way. They sell all kinds of products, as Goodreads is only for books. So that's distinct.
Exactly. I do want to point out to listeners, if they don't know this, Amazon does own Goodreads. Definitely, I think, Danielle, when you hover over the stars, especially on Goodreads, it kind of coaches you. I really liked it, or I liked it, or this book was awesome.
Yeah. Yes, totally. And I've seen some other book websites, especially some of them in France, and they have a page and they have the star ratings written, and they say, well, they go with gold, silver, and bronze instead of stars, but they really have a big description telling you where to put books depending on what you liked or not. It's very detailed. So that way, all the users of this website will put the books in the same way. And I think that this is something that we're a little bit missing, maybe in English, in Amazon, Goodreads, BookBub, is that they all mean different things for different people. So it's hard to have one rule that applies to all.
As you read a book and you know, if you really love it, obviously it's an easy call. You give it a great rating. But if it is a book that is not resonating with you, ask yourself those questions. Is the book fine and it's just me? Or is it the book is problematic, as you noted earlier, filled with errors? And at least let's do some critical thinking when we're rating a book, because a rating is not a critical review. Danielle, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on today. And I do want to have you back in the future. I know that there were other subjects that we talked about around ratings and also how authors rate each other. And I hope you will be available in the future to talk about that.
Yes, of course, I'd love to.
Awesome. Well, listeners, please, please, please check out Danielle Paquette-Harvey. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name, Danielle. Please look for Age-Old Enemies at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and other libraries. That is part of the Longing Mates series. I'm pointing up to the book. Also, check out the Goddesses Wards as well. Down below, links to everything, her socials. Give her a follow, give her a cheer, buy her books. Thank you all for listening, and I can't wait to connect with you the next time.